So I'm back in the car here today, guys. The new one. Me anyway. I'm going to change the mount member. Again, different part numbers for different configurations. This one being all-wheel drive CVT. This is where the details matter, right? You know, there's the two bolts down there. You can see them. You can see there, that's an oil cooler line, right? I mentioned yesterday, I said I was gonna, or whatever day it was I made that video, the initial video on this car, I was gonna change the pan. I should have been clear, guys. What I was talking about is the CVT transaxle oil pan. It's a stamped pan. Of course, the engine oil pan is cast aluminum in these things, right? But that pan looks pretty rotten to me. I'll show it to you when I'm under there. And yeah, again, when I mentioned the oil cooler filter that's in the kit here, I was referring to the CVT oil cooler, not the engine oil cooler. It doesn't have an engine oil cooler, as far as I know. This is a wee bit of a different configuration, but I don't think so. So let me show you the points of interest here. So there's the oil cooler, CVT oil cooler that I'm referring to there, guys. You won't find that on the other, you know, variants of the vehicle. Look at the state of this. This is in tough shape, like they all are. You know, that's garbage. You can see somebody's welded a plate on there at some point in the past. Junk. Sorry, I interrupted my filming there, guys, because just seeing a few things I never noticed before. So yeah, this is the state of the pan here. Yep, I could be mistaken. Perhaps it's not the pan that's actually leaking, because I see a bit of oil here, which is alarming. It doesn't smell like gear oil, so I don't think it's coming from the transfer. It's too far forward from the transfer anyway, but I don't really know what CVT gear oil smells like, to be totally honest. But yeah, it's kind of all from here. It's possible it's gear oil. I don't know if you can see right there. Oh, that is not engine oil weeping from the rear main. Perhaps I'll put my borescope camera up there. I don't think you'll see much. Of course, the seal's behind the, I guess it's a flex plate in this case. Well, maybe you can, I don't know. Anyway, so the pan is going to be dropped for the service, so I'm just going to clean this pan up. I've got to get a dry spot there. Can you see how the whole thing, you know, is corroded, and I'm not sure if the whole thing is just weeping right through. I've seen that before on gearbox end pans on the manual, 5-speed manual gearboxes on Suzuki's, but SX4s. I could be wrong, but in any case, you can see, yeah, this is a disaster. Fortunately, the suspension frame, or the K-frame, looks sound enough. Got surface rust, but was you. Yeah, so of course it's the same old, same old. There's two nuts in there on two studs, guys, and yeah, and two bolts that come through the cross member here. There's the top of it there, a couple of bushings. So I'm not going to give you the, you know, excruciating details on this. There's actually 2 other videos on the channel you can find if you're interested. it's almost certain that when I said I'm going to change this because I didn't like the look of it, likely somebody watching the video says, wow, this guy's just obsessive, you know, like OCD to the max. Well, no, really, right? Like I said, it's obvious that somebody has plated this. You can see the tack welds, and I guess they've temporarily held it in place with a couple of screws until they could plate it. I'm not much a welder, but anyway, I'll leave it at that. Somebody's attempted a repair in the past, and I understand that, because this is a very common issue with the SX4s. They virtually all go, at least all my cars have pretty much gone, with the exception of one. But yeah, so you look at this and you think, well, that's okay, I guess I can live with that. You sure? Here's what's on the other side. There's really nothing left of this, right? As you can see, this is ready to let go. This is absolute junk. This is not even scrap metal. There's really nothing left there, right? It's piss poor scrap metal on a good day. Yeah, so the importance of this structural member is, of course, you can see how complex the shape is. I think it controls the front end claps, so the engine drops away from you instead it ends up in your lap, right? So it's an important component, but you guys do what you want. I'm just telling you, I changed these because I know they're prone to corrosion, as you can see here. So just a suggestion, guys, the front mount here is tricky. It's tricky to actually get this thing out and back in. You're dealing with a square peg in a round hole type thing, and it's made all the worse by the fact that this one, being an automatic transmission, actually has a cooler within the radiator as well. There's actually lines there, right, in addition to the cooler on the front that I showed you earlier. So the front mount, there's two studs that come down here. Again, there's two nuts that are held in position. Well, the cross member kind of sits like this. Getting onto this nut is no small task. If you have a deep offset, it's really ideal. It makes a world of difference in trying to get this off. So what you can do is, to give yourself a bit more latitude as far as movement and actually getting this thing out, is you remove the nuts, then you can move the mount up and out of the way, and then you have a bit more, wiggle room type thing. So they're pretty tight. I couldn't get it with the help of my wrench extender here. I know some guys laugh at this, right? They think, well, a piece of pipe will do the same thing. It absolutely will do the same thing. But this has came in so handy on more than one occasion. This little shield here, guys, you can see where the mount actually sits here. This is where the circular portion of the rubber mount actually sits, where the through bolt goes. And the studs drop through here and pop through here. You won't find this plate on all configurations. I don't recall seeing that on my 5-speeds. Come here. Come here, you wee monkey. The wee monkey. I wasn't going to give you any details here, guys, because again, this video has already been made and much earlier. There's 2 other videos on the channel, but the torque specs we're interested in are B, and on the back side of the mount member, the 2 nuts that go onto the studs, also B. C is the 2 down bolts that go into the cross member through the washers, the bushings, rubber isolators, and the bushing. And C also for the nuts that go on the studs on the bottom of the mount itself. So let's just page down here so you can see the numbers. So B and C are 40 foot-pounds and 47 foot-pounds respectively. Well, that's it, boys. Don't forget to put the cooler lines back in their clamps and put the petcock back to where it's tight. You adjusted it so you could get a wee bit of wiggle room. That's it. There's the bushing stack there. Washer, isolator, bushings in between, mount member, bushing, of course the through bolt on the top side. Right, yeah, we've got a surface shield on there to hopefully extend its longevity, considering it's prone to corrosion, of course. Everything's torqued up as I showed you the chart, and I guess we'll call that good. Next episode will be contending with this in some way, shape, or form, I guess. See if we can get to the bottom of the weeping, leaking, whatever it might be. Right, that's it, boys. Thanks for watching. Cheers.